I've always joked that some people are so transcendent, so crucial, so transformative, they change the rules. Jerry West was called Mr. Clutch. That was his nickname. Jerry West, and I don't have the exact numbers, but at one point he was in 8 finals, and at one point he was 0 for 8. And he was known as Mr. Clutch. And then Michael came around, went 6 for 6, and we're like, oh, Michael's perfect. He was always great. And he kind of changed the game. The guy that was called Mr. Clutch could never win the big game, Jerry West. He was just a great player for years and years. And we called him Mr. Clutch. And Joy Taylor joining me. Kristine's still on assignment. And the ultimate compliment to certain players is they sort of change the game. They change the way we think. They change the way talk show hosts talk. The greatest thing you can say about LeBron, and this is where he's literally greater than Jordan. We would have never in a million years with Michael Jordan said, hey, Jordan had 34 points last night on 56% shooting. I don't think he played well. What? Excuse me? I beg your jargon? Hello? We would have never said that. Our standard is so high for LeBron. It's even higher than it was for MJ. For MJ, we didn't get into particulars. MJ won, he was great. MJ was 6 for 19, 5 for 19, twice against Gary Payton against the Sonics. He won, he's great. Our standard for MJ was he won, he's great. Our standard for LeBron is, oh yeah, he won, but he got into foul trouble early. That is the ultimate compliment for LeBron James. We never once, with Michael Jordan, worried about anything other than points win. We are now with LeBron narrowing it down to, I don't think he played well early. He scored 34 points on 56% shooting. Here's another thing people are saying this morning. Oh, well, he wouldn't have won without Kyrie Irving. Oh, so now he doesn't even get a good second player? Yeah, because Kareem never helped Magic. David Robinson never helped Duncan. Tony Parker never helped him. Yeah, Pippen never helped MJ ever. The two greatest compliments. LeBron drops 34 on 56% shooting, and you think he played poorly. Wow. That's a new standard. That's never been the case in my business. The second thing is, now you don't even allow him to have a good second player. You do get Pippen's a Hall of Famer. Kareem's a Hall of Famer. David Robinson's a Hall of Famer. You do get that, right? Here's the thing about basketball. There's never been a perfect player. Everybody's got holes. The big guys like Wilt and Kareem and Shaq and Duncan, well, they're big guys. They can't handle the ball. They don't do much from the perimeter, and they're often poor free throw shooters. We know that about the legendary centers. They're limited to 8 feet and in. Well, what about the great guards? Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, Steph Curry, Steve Nash. They're small. Sometimes they're defensive liabilities. They're generally not great finishers at the rim. We know that to be true. Even with our greatest wing players, Dirk Nowitzki, totally finesse. Charles Barkley, good when he wanted to be. Kobe Bryant, teammate killer, tunnel vision, at times, ball hog. Magic Johnson, weak perimeter scorer. Larry Bird, mediocre defender. Michael Jordan, never had a long-range jumper. Michael was never, ever a great shooter outside of 20 feet. He wasn't. And he ran through coaches in his first 5 years. But with LeBron, it's weird because defender, check A. Passer, check A. Rebounder, check. Good as he wants to be. Score, check. Efficiency, check. Three-pointers, check. He's good at everything. But he's not a perfect player either. Because LeBron James is such a freight train in tennis shoes that he is not a soft floater, great perimeter. He has to work at that stuff. And there are times and there are lapses when he loses his confidence as a perimeter shooter. And he did the other night. And when he does in the second half, LeBron becomes two things: attack the rim LeBron and defer LeBron. And we don't like those. We don't like those. We like LeBron doing everything, Because he is great at everything. And so when LeBron loses his jumper confidence, and you see it from time to time, same with his free throws, he's hot and cold. That's his hole. We consider it a major mental gaffe, a mental hole. No, what LeBron did last night is what LeBron does now when he loses briefly confidence in his jumper. He attacks the rim. You saw that last night. He's like, okay, I'm just going to the rim. Yeah, it produced 15 points in the fourth quarter, and he defers. And this is why LeBron came to Cleveland. You know why he came back to Cleveland, and it had nothing to do with that sappy song that John occasionally plays, Coming Home. That is not why LeBron James, that's not why he went back to Cleveland. That had nothing to do with it. That's all sappy garbage. He went back to Cleveland for one reason, Kyrie Irving. Because he knew Dwayne Wade was never a great three-point shooter. And he knew increasingly the game was becoming three-point centric. So what did he want? Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, brought over J.R. Smith. All these players have holes. All of them do. There's never been a player that's perfect. The big guys can't handle the ball, score from the perimeter, or shoot a free throw. The little guys, Isaiah Thomas, Boston's better defensively without him. That's not even a question. And the wing guys can be ball-centric, to finesse, or in LeBron's case, he loses confidence on his jumper. Well, Michael would too. He would just shoot more. LeBron's like, attack the rim and defer more. Pick your poison. All I know is he's changed the game. 34 points, 56% shooting, and this morning most talk show hosts are saying, he really was bad last night. That is a completely new standard in our business. We never once did that with MJ. Never one time did that with MJ. And he had multiple final games where he was 9 for 28, 5 for 16, 6 for 19, multiple. We never counted that against him. The criticisms of LeBron are compliments. You know why you notice when a supermodel gets a pimple? Because she never has one. That's when you notice it. You know why you notice that thing on Cindy Crawford's face? Because the rest of it's perfect. That's a compliment. Now, Jim Jackson yesterday on Speak for Yourself did bring up an interesting point. Is that, and I thought this was really interesting, about LeBron's offensive game. And because he is so deft at so many things, this, though, is true about LeBron's offensive game.
The difference with LeBron, though, as great as he is, unlike Michael, Kobe, they had go-to moves. You can put them in a situation either on the post or mid-post, and they can go to those moves. Yeah. With LeBron, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have when he can get to the lane and shoot a floater because he's not a finesse player.
It's a really good point. When guys get into slumps, you go to your go-to signature move. Kobe had 2, Jordan had about 5, Duncan had 4, Larry Bird had a couple. LeBron doesn't really have that. So when LeBron goes into these occasional jumper, losing confidence moments, his thing is attack the rim, get close, and defer. And that's just who he is now. It's been established. But this idea that he can have last night's game and you think it's lousy, it is the pimple on a supermodel's cheek. You're complimenting him. You're not criticizing him. Here's my second takeaway on what I thought was a weird game last night. Just a bizarre game. LeBron's never in foul trouble. They shoot 71% in the second half. I mean, it was just, Boston was banking in multiple three-pointers. It was an odd game.